Good evening, everyone. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been published in the borough's official newspapers and posted in the municipal building and on the borough's website. As permitted by the Open Public Meetings Act, this meeting is being held in person and broadcast online via Zoom video meetings. The option to attend via Zoom is a courtesy. If Zoom becomes unavailable and cannot be fixed, the council meeting will continue in person only. For those joining us via Zoom, please raise your hand during designated times to be recognized for a comment. Whether you are appearing in person or via Zoom, you must provide your name to be recognized. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mary.
Councilmember Bonatakis.
Present.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood.
Present.
Councilmember Forrest. Councilmember Janone.
Present.
Councilmember Euro.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano.
Here.
And Mayor Portman.
Here. We have some proclamations to get through. First one is for Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas children are our nation's most vulnerable members and our nation's most valuable resources, helping to shape the future of New Jersey. And whereas positive childhood experiences like loving caregivers and safe, stable, and nurturing relationships can help mitigate trauma and the negative impact of adverse childhood experiences to promote the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children. And whereas childhood trauma can have a long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects throughout an individual's lifetime, and impact future generations of their family. And whereas childhood trauma, including abuse and neglect, is a serious problem affecting every community in the U.S., and finding solutions requires input and action from everyone. And whereas children who live in families with access to concrete, economic, and social supports are less likely to experience abuse and neglect. And whereas prevention is possible because of the partnerships created between Prevent Child Abuse New Jersey, families, prevention advocates, child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, service organizations, and local, state, and national governments. And whereas we acknowledge that to solve the public health issue of abuse and neglect, we must work together to change hearts and mindsets through storytelling and sharing, center the needs of families, reduce barriers, and inspire action from partners in prevention. And whereas we are committed to advancing responsive, effective systems that ensure all children and families are healthy and thriving. And whereas we recognize the need to prioritize kids and invest in more prevention initiatives like home visiting and family strengthening policies, economic support, and community-based child abuse prevention programs at the local, state, and national levels. Now, therefore, I, William Portman, Mayor of the Borough of Red Bank, along with the governing body, do hereby proclaim April as National Child Abuse Prevention Month in the Borough of Red Bank, and urge all citizens to recognize this month by building a narrative of hope for children and families through collaboration and the creation of an ecosystem of primary prevention. Pinwheels of Possibility was supposed to be here to accept this, but they could not make it. Okay, next up, Earth Day, April 22nd, 2026, Our Power, Our Planet. Whereas Earth Day is observed annually on April 22nd as a global call to action to protect our environment, conserve natural resources, and promote sustainable practices for future generations. And whereas the theme for Earth Day 2026, Our Power, Our Planet, emphasizes the critical role of renewable energy and the collective responsibility of individuals, communities, businesses, and governments to foster a cleaner, healthier world. And whereas this theme highlights that each of us has the power to make meaningful contributions toward environmental stewardship through conscious choices, energy conservation, and support for sustainable initiatives. And whereas the transition to renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and other sustainable alternatives is essential to reducing pollution, combating climate change, and ensuring long-term environmental resilience. And whereas the Borough of Red Bank is committed to promoting environmental awareness, encouraging responsible practices, and supporting initiatives that enhance sustainability and protect our natural resources. And whereas Earth Day serves as an opportunity to educate, inspire, and mobilize residents to act in their daily lives and within their community to preserve the planet for generations to come. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mayor William Portman, and the Council of the Borough of Red Bank hereby proclaim April 22nd, 2026 as Earth Day in the Borough of Red Bank, And be it further resolved that all residents are encouraged to recognize the importance of our power, our planet, by embracing renewable energy, reducing their environmental footprint, and participating in activities that promote a sustainable and thriving community. And be it further resolved that together, through collective action and shared responsibility, we can build a cleaner, greener, and more sustainable future for all. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand this 9th day of April. Do we have anyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we do. That's right. We just covered this. We have to put that? Yes.
Thank you very much for your leadership. Pay tribute to you all for all of your many sustainable acts that you do, skip the stuff, all of your many plastic related, but it goes a lot bigger than this. Skip the stuff and all the plastic. Thank you very much for being with.
And I want to be clear too, when I say you need to speak with me.
Thank you, Marta.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marta.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Fire prevented that.
You're in. Thank you very much.
Joe, you got your speech ready? You're up next. All right, here we go. Next is for Jazz Appreciation Month. Whereas Jazz Appreciation Month was established in 2001 by the Smithsonian National Museum of American History to recognize and celebrate the rich heritage and enduring impact of jazz music. And whereas throughout the month of April, Jazz Appreciation Month honors the contributions of jazz musicians past and present while fostering a deeper understanding and appreciation of jazz as a uniquely American art form that has influenced music and culture around the world. And whereas jazz embodies the values of spontaneity, collaboration, creativity, and innovation, continually evolving by blending diverse cultural influences and musical traditions. And whereas the celebration of Jazz Appreciation Month provides an opportunity for residents to explore the history of jazz, attend live performances, study the works of legendary artists, and support emerging musicians who continue to carry this vibrant art form forward. And whereas Jazz Appreciation Month culminates each year on April 30th with International Jazz Day, a worldwide celebration recognized by UNESCO that highlights jazz as a powerful tool for promoting peace, diversity, and intercultural dialogue. And whereas the Borough of Red Bank recognizes the importance of the arts in enriching our community, strengthening cultural connections, and inspiring future generations, now therefore be it resolved that I, Mayor William Portman, and the governing body of the Borough of Red Bank hereby proclaim April 2026 as Jazz Appreciation Month in the Borough of Red Bank. And be it further resolved that all residents are encouraged to celebrate Jazz Appreciation Month by learning about its history, supporting local artists, attending performances, and embracing the spirit of creativity and unity that jazz represents. And be it further resolved that this governing body proudly joins communities across the nation and around the world in recognizing the enduring legacy and global influence of jazz music.
We have Joe Muccioli here from Jazz Arts Project.
Yeah.
Joe, you want to share any upcoming things?
I have to say a couple of dozen words.
Yeah.
We have every Wednesday in April. Last night we had our first cafe night over at Triumph Brewery. We have 2 more Wednesdays coming up, and then a big gala, which will begin with a free to the public classic car show. Our theme for our gala is Havana Nights. So the classic car show will feature cars iconic to the Havana, Cuba in the heyday. So I hope you all come and hang out with cars. There'll be some surprises. There'll be music in the street, and then we'll have our gala. So thanks.
Thank you.
Where was that event last year where the the pros were mentoring the kids on stage.
That was the tour theater.
Yeah.
That was really great.
Just about the coolest thing I ever saw.
Yeah.
It really
Joe,
was.
they had Jazz Arts had an event at the Two River Theater in December, literally with like professional musicians playing with students, and you were watching the students absorbing these lessons in real time and literally playing them back. It was one of the coolest things I ever saw. All right. Our final proclamation is for National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. Whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical point of contact for individuals seeking emergency assistance, providing a vital link between the public and emergency services. And whereas these highly trained professionals serve as the calm, steady voice in times of crisis, answering emergency and non-emergency calls, dispatching fire, police, and emergency medical services, and ensuring the safety and well-being of our community. And whereas public safety telecommunicators demonstrate exceptional skill, dedication, and professionalism while working under high-pressure situations, often making life-saving decisions within seconds. And whereas their work requires compassion, resilience, and the ability to provide clear and accurate communication during moments of distress, helping to guide callers through emergencies and ensuring responders have the information they need. And whereas these individuals work tirelessly behind the scenes, often without public recognition, yet their contributions are essential to the effectiveness of public safety operations and the protection of life and property. And whereas it is both appropriate and necessary to recognize and honor the commitment, service, and sacrifices made by public safety telecommunicators in support of our community, now therefore be resolved that I, Mayor William Portman, and the governing body of the Borough of Red Bank, hereby proclaim April 12th through April 18th, 2026 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the Borough of Red Bank. And be it further resolved that we extend our sincere appreciation to all public safety telecommunicators for their unwavering dedication, professionalism, and service, and encourage all residents to recognize and thank these individuals for their critical role in safeguarding our community. And be it further resolved that this governing body proudly honors these unsung heroes whose voices provide comfort, coordination, and life-saving support each and every day. Who do we got accepting this, Chief? Wow. Guy's got his own microphone. Look at this. Walks around with this everywhere.
Always and forever. Chief stole my, or I'm sorry, the mayor stole my thunder. Real quick, I just want to touch on our dispatchers. You know, we have 4 dispatchers here that work full-time for us. Men and women, they are professionals, to say the least. They're here every day. They work in a small dispatch area. They monitor our police, our fire, our EMS, our Department of Public Works, our emergency management channels. They monitor the phones. They have walk-ins that come into the window. So they are very multitask. You know, it's in their blood. They're able to do several different things, numerous different things at one time, and also make critical decisions, you know, that are important to the officers on the street. Without them, they're involved with every call, you know, that we go to. And, you know, they're vital, as the mayor said in his resolution, they're a vital part of, you know, the success of the police department and how our day-to-day operations are. So I'm very pleased with how they run and work in our department. But I wish some of them were here. We just had a disorderly person's fight and a domestic that they're dealing with, so I wasn't able to have anyone cover him for a little bit to come in here. But you know, this is to them, and I appreciate everything they do. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
And Chief, I just want to echo what you said. Having started out my career in public service as a 911 dispatcher and moving on into a 911 supervisor, it makes you grow up real quick in that line of business. And coming right out of college and jumping right into that, you hear a lot. And unfortunately, I think for dispatchers, they don't see a lot, but they hear a lot. And I know personally, anecdotally, I always relied on the guys I worked with closely, and you get close with them on the shift and you care about them, and, you know, everybody knows about their families, and, they would always pop in and bring you a cup of coffee because you can't leave and, make sure they run out and pick you up dinner and things like that. And that always meant so much because there's so much camaraderie around that profession. And, I would always rely on them to tell me, hey, what'd you see out there? What happened? Because you never get the final result of things. You hear the chaos in the beginning. They need you. People are calling you at their worst time, their worst moment because they need help. And we're taking that call, right, as a dispatcher. And then you're sending the guys that you care so much about out into the field to go answer that call. And it's that moment of like, I hope everything goes okay. Did I get all the information I could possibly get to give to them so that they can do their job safely? So they have a tremendous weight on their shoulders. My hat is off to them all the time because they do a tremendous job and it's not an easy job.
I agree 100%. And, myself coming up through the ranks, I was a dispatcher for like 2.5 years. So I know, we have to make decisions and that sometimes they're not easy. You're dispatching, you're trying to get as much calls as you can or information as you can to relay to the officers, like you said, that you care about, you work with, you're part of the family, the officers. It's important, you get the information right and you relay that to them. Because if not, then you got to hear those guys come back in and say, hey, you could have gave us other information, So it's important for that. And, like I said, I have firsthand experience. Patrolman Gray over there has firsthand experience. So Officer McGee, he's a couple of years into the department, but he is learning the desk and stuff like that. So it is important. It's an important function. And like I said, it's a lifeline between us, the callers, and the officers. So it's very important.
And it's funny, all the guys that would come in and they'd be like, I don't want to do your job.
Exactly.
Exactly. Because when it hits the fan, it hits the fan.
Especially
And-
during storms. And
Exactly. And sometimes you're by yourself.
breaks loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of tremendous effort to them, and
Yep.
really give it to them.
I agree. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support of the council as well. Thank you.
Chief,
Thank you, Chief.
Yes.
on a separate note, I was at the hospital right before this. There was a young person from the community that unfortunately broke his ankle on the train tracks on his bike, and Officer McGee was there. Actually, both the officers were there, but I just wanted to commend Officer McGee for his kindness and just down-to-earthness he showed to that young person. And I know the level of comfort that he gave him was definitely humanizing and really nice in that moment for him. So hats off.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good job, James. Keep it up. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chief. Next up, we're going to ask Lisa Richardson from the Housing Authority to come up and give us a little update and presentation.
Good evening.
Lisa, can you just, thank you, only because, is the light green there? Perfect.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
There you go.
I thought it was on. I am the Executive Director at the Red Bank Housing Authority, and our offices are located at 52 Evergreen Terrace. Thank you for this opportunity to present an update on the borough's $350,000 grant to the Red Bank Housing Authority for pre-development costs associated with activities that will provide the Housing Authority with the ability to identify and assess potential infrastructure projects and modification to its existing infrastructures, and to advance those projects from conceptual phase to the actual redevelopment of our properties. The grant was initially awarded for 2 years from May 2023 to May 2025 and extended for an additional year to May 2026. In my letter dated March 9th, 2026, I requested another extension and look forward to a favorable approval of the grant's extension as requested. To date, the current and remaining grant balance is $292,565.72. I previously reported that Bureau Veritas provided the physical needs assessment of the Housing Authority properties, and its work was concluded with its final reports in June 2024. These reports provided a detailed assessment of the conditions of the properties and associated cost estimates that provide guidance for the redevelopment of the sites. The expenditure for the physical needs assessment was $17,422. In 2024, we also engaged NW Financial Group to provide financial analysis of our proposed real estate development and operational budgets. The firm presented its analysis of possible redevelopment options, which included possible financing options, and since then has continued to be an important member of the RBHA redevelopment team, which is comprised of 3 commissioners who form the RBHA redevelopment committee, along with our legal counsel. To date, the expenditure for NW Financial Group services, which is ongoing, is $30,150. In early 2025, we retained the law firm of McManaman, Scotland and Bauman, which continues to provide invaluable legal counsel concerning the real estate transactions involving the anticipated redevelopment of the Housing Authority's properties, utilizing HUD's RAD Section 18 blend conversion program. To date, the expenditure for its ongoing legal services is $9,862.28. Last month, the Housing Authority approved the engagement of LEW Environmental Services to perform the Phase 1 environmental assessment of its properties and anticipate the work to begin shortly. As you may recall, the Red Bank Housing Authority was established in 1957 and provides affordable housing to low and moderate income households, comprised of 40 family households located at Montgomery Terrace and 50 designated senior and disabled households located at Evergreen Terrace. These properties are over 65 and 55 years old, respectively. Presently, Red Bank Housing Authority is preparing the submission of its RAD Section 8 blend application to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, known as HUD. RAD, which stands for Rental Assistance Demonstration, was designed by HUD to assist in addressing the capital needs of public housing by providing housing authorities with access to private sources of capital to repair and preserve their affordable housing assets, and by converting public housing subsidy into Section 8 subsidy that is tied to the property, thus allowing housing authorities to maintain, repair, and replace aging public housing properties. In preparation for the proposed RAD Section 18 blend conversion, we held the first two resident information meetings on February 19th and March 12th. Information about RAD and our residents' rights and obligations during and after the conversion were presented by representatives of NW Financial Group and South Jersey Legal Services. We are committed to engaging our residents in the planning and implementation process as we move forward with the proposed redevelopment and have posted our housing authority's RAD information on our website at www.redbankhousing.org, which can be found under About Red Bank Housing Authority. General information about RAD may be found on the HUD website. Currently, we are in the process of finalizing the selection of a developer partner for the proposed new construction of senior housing and the selection of an architect engineering firm for the rehabilitation and modernization of the existing family housing to facilitate the quality standards our residents deserve. The Housing Authority anticipates making its selections no later than its May 12th board meeting. In closing, the borough's financial assistance has demonstrated its commitment to the preservation and development of affordable housing for the borough's low and moderate income residents, and we look forward to the borough's continued support as we move the proposed RAD projects from the conceptual phase to the actual development of the properties. And for this ongoing support, we are grateful. So if you have any questions, comments.
First of all, thank you for being here. It's great to
Thank you for having me.
see where the progress is being made. Just to clarify, is the plan right now to be knocking down and rebuilding Evergreen Terrace and then renovating Montgomery
Yes.
Terrace? Okay. And do you have an idea of like how many more units you're gonna get or
Not at this time,
no?
but we are
Okay.
looking for more than what we already have.
All right.
I want to say thank you very much as well. And since you are knocking down Evergreen Terrace, do you have a plan for where the seniors will be going during this process?
The intent is to build first and then move the seniors over. Because we're gonna build on a different location, hopefully.
Okay. Sounds
So it
good.
would minimize or eliminate any relocation.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you.
Location on the same property?
On Evergreen, well, we're hoping it'll be near the Montgomery property.
Okay.
Mhm.
I just wanted to comment that you kind of talked about the role of the housing authority, how proud I am that our town hosts affordable and moderate income housing, including public housing. And and right now in the country, it's not easy to do that. And we're fighting for it. And I'm proud of all of you at the Housing Authority. I'm proud of our liaison to the Housing Authority, Kate, over here. And it's good to see you.
Thank you.
And thank you for what you do. I really am concerned about what's happening with housing in Red Bank, but the entire state and the entire nation. And I think we as a society must do more to help have housing for all.
Mhm.
And it's not just going to happen on its own.
Right.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Anyone from the public have any questions, or we could always open the floor for public comment, or anyone else in the council? No? All right, well,
No, I'm just appreciative of the constant transparency from the Housing Authority. It's wonderful that you come here and you openly share, where you're at in your progress with the borough. This is a big project that you all are taking on. So we appreciate the transparency and the updates
Mhm.
and,
Thank you.
just keep coming and keep giving updates. We appreciate it. Thank you.
And I appreciate you all. Thank you again.
thank you, Lisa.
Evening.
Okay, moving along, can I have a motion to open the public comment on agenda items only?
I'll make such a motion, Mr.
Can I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Public, the floor is yours. If you have any questions about the agenda, yes, Barbara.
Thank you. I was reading the agenda today and I saw about the signs. And I saw everything that was listed there, except for the fact that there was no uniformity listed. I've been in numerous towns that have lots of sandwich signs and lots of different signs. Princeton being top of my list, I can tell you about, and Freehold, right down the street. And all of the signs that they have on their streets in front of the stores, the frames are all identical. So there's no gold glitter and everything is the same. Their message is their own and they can design it and do whatever they want. But I think that adds just some kind of a class to the towns when they do that. So if you could consider that and maybe just encourage that to be added I encourage that to be added to the new ordinance, because it really makes for a neater looking town. It looks cleaner, it looks neater, it just looks more thoughtful. So if you would consider that, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Questions, comments? Anyone online, Jim? No? Okay, can I have a motion to close the public comment on agenda items only?
So moved?
I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from March 26, 2026?
I'll make such a motion.
Can I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
And can I have a motion to approve the executive meeting minutes from March 26, 2026?
So moved?
I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have some final readings for ordinances. First one is final reading and public hearing for 2026-06, entitled An Ordinance of the Borough of Red Bank, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 490, Planning and Development Regulations relating to Section 118 Outdoor Storage Materials. This ordinance was introduced on March 12th, 2026. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing on this ordinance only? Have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone have any comments on this ordinance in particular? Do you have anyone online?
No, sir.
Can I have a motion to close the public comment for this ordinance only?
So moved?
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve on final reading and adoption, public hearing 2026-06? Have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis? Councilmember Facie Blackwood?
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest?
Yes.
Councilmember Janone?
Yes.
Councilmember Euro?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano?
Yes.
And Mayor Portman.
Yes. Next up is a final reading and public hearing for 2026-08, entitled An Ordinance Amending Chapter 680 Vehicles and Traffic to clarify no parking zones on Hudson Avenue to enhance public safety. This ordinance was introduced on March 26, 2026. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing on this ordinance only?
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone have any questions or comments on this ordinance? Anyone online, Jim?
No, sir.
Can I have a motion to close the public hearing on this ordinance only?
So moved?
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve on final reading and adoption ordinance 2026-08? Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis?
Yes.
Councilmember Facie Blackwood?
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest?
Yes.
Councilmember Janone?
Yes.
Councilmember Euro?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano?
Yes.
And Mayor Portman.
Yes. Next up is an introduction for ordinance 2026-09, entitled An Ordinance Amending Chapter 490, Planning and Development Regulations to renew regulations as to sidewalk signs. Can I have a motion to approve this ordinance on introduction?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis?
Yes.
Councilmember Facie Blackwood?
Before I answer, Mrs. Boas brought up a very good point about uniformity of signs. Would that, if we approve this ordinance, would that prevent us from modifying said ordinance to have that included in it?
No.
No? Okay, yes. But I'd like to see that
Yeah.
language to the effect of uniformity of signs. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Forrest?
Yes.
Councilmember Janone?
Yes.
Councilmember Euro?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano?
Yes.
And Mayor Portman.
Yes. A public hearing for this ordinance will be held on April 23rd. Anything needs to be highlighted on the resolutions, or can we approve them on the consent agenda?
I think just highlighting that the language can be confusing about the special improvement district resolution. That's a first step, but then there's also an approval, a final hearing, and a presentation of their budget. That language sounds very final. So I just wanted to clarify that that's only the first of many steps with the special improvement district's budget.
Okay, thank you. Everyone else good? Can I have a motion to approve resolution 26-72 through 26-82 under the consent agenda?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis?
Yes.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest.
Yes.
Councilmember Janone,
Yes.
Councilmember Euro,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. Whole bunch of stuff happening event-wise, so I will go through the list. The graffiti bash will be at Riverside Gardens Park on Saturday, April 25th, with a rain date of April 26th. That's from 11 to 4 p.m. There's a street fair on Sunday, April 26th, from 11 to 5. The Record Riot is back on Mechanic Street on Sunday, May 17th. We have some events requesting approval. I imagine that's approval from special events, right? So we have an Earth Day community cleanup, Johnny Jazz Park on Saturday, April 25th at 11:30. Coffee Corral is holding a Cinco de Mayo event on Friday, May 1st, 4:30 to 7:30. The Red Bank Charter School 8th grade graduation ceremonies at Riverside Gardens at 4 p.m. They're requesting from 2 to 6. And then it'll be Thursday, July 11th, also requesting Riverside Gardens on Thursday, June 11th from 8:30 to 10:30 to practice for the ceremony. The procession for the Feast of St. Anthony on Saturday, June 13th at 9:30 a.m. And the Liberty Hose Car Show on Sunday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. with a rain date of July 19th. Excuse me. For Parks and Rec, we have the summer series from July 12th through August 21st. And the second annual garden tours throughout town on June 7th at 1 p.m. And River Center has some events. The Dog Walk on Saturday, May 15th from noon to 4. The Monmouth Street event on Saturday, June 13th from noon to 4 with a rain date of June 14th. And the Red Bank Arts Festival on Saturday, June 27th with a rain date of June 28th. Yeah, that's it. Can I have a motion to open the floor for public comment?
Make such a motion.
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Public, anything on your mind? Now is the time to speak about it. Yeah, come on up. There's a microphone up here. Yeah, come on up and just state your name and your address and then.
Hi, Tom Salmon, 130 Bodman Place, 21 years here. I've been here before, same complaints. So I'd like to ask each and every one of the council, the mayor, how would you feel with the dump truck on your street going beep, 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 beep at 4:30 in the morning?
Right, terrible.
How would you feel about tractor trailers lining up with steel, wood, before 6 in the morning? Or unloading pipe, it may be 6:10 in the morning. And this just goes on and on. And the police come for a while, it gets better, and then it doesn't. So now I see where we're gonna lose our parking on Bodman, starting, I believe, Monday. And so I called Lieutenant Kovar, I believe her name is, very nice to me. And I said to her, well, what will be the rules as far as like, what time can they come and park in front of my home? And she couldn't give me a solid answer on that. And so I would like to ask, what is the answer on that? But I also have a possible solution.
Well, first of all, I don't know offhand the answer. I love that you have a solution. Chief, while we're here, didn't we have a conversation with the developer and we?
Request of contractor
Uh-huh.
over there. And we kicked it around, myself, Lieutenant Kovar, spoke to the borough manager about it. Yeah, they're having difficulties. There's no more room really for them to pull into to unload some of these trucks. And we get complaints of double parked cars, construction vehicles, so we decided to eliminate parking on the east side of Bodman Place. I think it's probably maybe offhand 7-8 spots, and give them a lane on the west side of Bodman Place so that they can park their vehicles in there, unload material or whatever they're doing safely. We have cars going in and out, deliveries, Oyster Point. I mean, Bodman Place is a pretty busy thoroughfare.
But I guess my question is going back to Mr. Salmon's original complaint.
His original complaint was the noise.
Yeah, which is what we're dealing with now. Trucks unloading at 4 in the morning. I mean, I
No,
thought
they're not unloading it.
or even worse, they're just idling and
Yeah, I mean, I can't say they're idling. I mean, we have officers respond there. Usually by the time we get there, the
Right.
banging or whatever is stopped. So we can't issue it.
Is there anything we can do dealing with the contractor, or the,
He's been very receptive to, what we've been doing and talking to him. Heather talks to him on a daily basis. He's got signs out. We're offered to put signs up. He's telling us they're a third party. Listen, I still kind of lean like, hey, listen, if you have a third party trucking company come in that your subcontractor hired, it's still your work site. You're still responsible for what
Yeah,
happens.
it's been a year,
Yeah.
almost.
So, I mean, this is it's a part of life. I understand the noise ordinance and stuff like that, but, construction noise does happen. I mean, I have an officer that goes there every single morning unless something really bad happens. They go there probably shortly after 7 a.m. to make sure there's no illegally parked cars, make sure there's no noise. I think maybe a handful of times.
Yeah, people are good when they're there.
Yeah. I mean,
Traffic does a speed limit.
I'm willing, yeah, of course, yeah, exactly. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to.
So
Yeah,
my
one
belief
one of the
is-
other things I know that we've made improvements of, and even after our meeting, was having them off-site and being flagged into the site.
Yes.
Right.
That's another,
With the cement trucks, we have them staged on Brower Place next to Monteverde. So they're not just idling on Bodman Place. And they have a flag guy with a radio, which calls them into the site. They dump their concrete and then they pull out. The next one comes over.
is the ordinance, what time technically are they?
7:30.
Right. I mean, would it help to have an officer visit earlier?
they're there at 7.
Problem is,
I would like to say something, and that is that I believe they shouldn't be allowed down the street with all this noise till 7:30 in the morning. They shouldn't be on their site with moving their equipment at 6:30 in the morning, making this noise. This is a residential neighborhood.
Right.
We have to put up with them from 7:30 in the morning till 6:30. But if I have to read something, I have to leave my home 6 days a week. I'm done with these people. So I want my time. I have this until 7:30 in the morning. I should have that.
Was that your solution, by the way, to have them?
No, my solution is that they're not allowed on the street till 7:30 in the morning. They should stage themselves on the bridge and be called in at 7:30 in the morning, and they can do whatever the hell they want to do. Just leave me alone. I've lost sleep for about a year now with all this noise.
Man,
And I'm sure if it was in front of your house, you wouldn't be real happy either.
no, is there I mean, legally, is that something we can?
I don't know if the state would allow them to stage on.
Well,
the highway.
Well, wherever they stage, is
Yeah,
it
right.
legally?
Yeah. I
No,
mean,
they
he
can't.
suggested that he talked to whoever owns the old gas station across
Right.
from the lighthouse to see if he could rent that from them to see if he could stage some vehicles and.
Mr. Sam, is one of the issues that, I'm sorry, one of the issues is that like, workers, right, from any job, whether it's wherever you're working, they show up at different times and things like that. Are the workers showing up, opening up gates, making noise and things like that early?
It doesn't bother.
That's what I'm just trying to figure out.
That's
Like,
not it. It's the truck.
it sounds like this third-party trucking company
Yeah.
probably that we're having the most issue with.
If you haven't gotten it under control in a year, what's it gonna take?
Yeah.
If you can't handle your subordinates, you go. That's generally the rule, right?
Well, that's the issue, is that this is clearly a third party. It's not the guys that are working this job site who we communicate with all the time.
Right.
They're hiring a company to come in.
They're pretty decent,
Yeah, no, they are. They've been decent with us too, because the last time we went in there, we were not very,
No, we weren't very nice to them.
we weren't very nice. And it was after our last meeting. But we made a lot of agreements at that time too. And then they made a lot of improvements. I think the issue, from what I'm hearing from you, is from whatever this third-party trucking site is. And I think even at that time, I had suggested putting signage at the top of Bodman that says you do not enter until a certain time. So I'm wondering if that's still an option that we can
No, I think that we can definitely put that up.
explore. They need to go drive around and figure out,
But it has to be
until,
something that they
Not
can see.
one vendor, that's the problem. It's multiple.
right.
It's various construction vehicles coming before the 7:30.
Right, it's big deliveries. These are really big trucks,
Yeah. I think the
And-
building company has their crew squared away where they've told
Yeah.
them, you're not working until 7:30,
Yeah,
the gates
it's
don't
not-
open.
And they've destroyed the street, so they make twice the amount of noise when they come down
Yeah.
because they're hitting all these bumps, boom, boom,
Right.
it's just.
Okay. Let's take this back tomorrow and really roundtable.
Yeah, well, we can talk about it tomorrow and go from there.
My position is, let's not have them on the street until it's time to make noise, and then, I'm stuck with you. But until then,
Yeah, understood.
No, I totally sympathize with you, and I wish things were a little bit easier. I wish we could contact every person and.
and it feels like we keep giving to them. We lost our parking spots, so they can do what they want to do and still annoy the hell out of us.
Right.
What's for us?
Well, let's see if we can do that. I don't know if it's with signage or talking to the contractor about saying no work trucks down this road until 7:30 and.
Oh, I agree.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get a sign made up and try that out,
All right,
Thank you.
definitely. Yep,
Okay.
no problem. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I knew it wasn't going to be good news when I saw you walk in with a notebook. I'm like, he's not just here to
Yeah.
No, we knew who
make a
Mr. Salmon
suggestion
was.
for the
We knew,
broad walk,
we knew why Mr. Salmon was here.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, Sue.
Suzanne Viscomi, 25 Cedar Street. I'm not speaking on behalf of the school board or anything. But I am here to just announce there's a concert on April 24th at the middle school to help raise money for the Education Foundation. They'll be doing songs like I'm All Right, the Blackwater, more like the 70 Doobie Brothers kind of thing. It's an excellent opportunity to show off Red Bank. A lot of the singers are not from Red Bank, they're from surrounding towns. There will be, I believe, a silent auction and a 50-50. Doors open, it starts at 7, doors are opening at 6:30. So if anyone's interested, please look at the Education Foundation will present something, but there'll be stuff on Facebook. But I just wanted to let you know about this new fundraiser we're doing at the, for the school and for the children.
What did you say the date was?
April 24th at the middle school.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone online? Jim, any questions? No? Anyone else? Okay, can I have a motion to close the public comment?
I'll make such a motion.
Can I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Christina, you got anything to report?
Yeah, just a couple small things. I wanted to thank the council for clearing the way for the Historic Commission to apply for a couple additional grants and obviously applaud that commission for independently seeking those. Just as a reminder, it was a grant from the same New Jersey Historic Trust that helped us complete the design guidelines for the historic district. So hopefully we can seek some additional funds that add to the historic vibrancy of the town, and they have some interesting projects planned. Also, big thanks to, well, my council colleagues, the Bens. I'll use that while I have the opportunity, who stand with me on the Finance Committee. Very exciting to introduce the budget, and obviously huge thanks to Jim and Tom for all of the hard work on this budget, and also for the excellent presentation that you provided last week to the residents. I think it was really helpful to have such a thorough breakdown of what's going on, the whys for some of the increases. I think it really helps to understand, and the sense of responsibility that goes into putting that budget together. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ben?
Yeah, just to echo what Christina said about the budget. It's eye-opening to see really what the driving factors are. Kudos to Jim, Tom, and the department heads in particular to cutting and tightening their belts when and where they can. Looking at the River Center events here, I know the Red Bank Arts Festival is looking for sponsorship still. Tom, who can they reach out to for that?
Yeah.
You're on, Tom.
You're
on, Tom.
So yeah, we have a number of events coming up. there is a little bit of a typo on the agenda. The Monmouth Street event that is for June 13th and 14th and the Arts Festival are the two same thing. Originally, we were planning to do the event on the 13th. We have moved it to June 27th with a rain date of June 28th. It is the first ever Red Bank Arts Festival. It is a celebration of visual, performance, and literary arts. It will take place on Monmouth Street from 12 to 4 p.m. that Saturday. And yes, sponsorship opportunities are available for both that event and all of our many events at redbank.org. Thank you, Ben.
Perfect. Yeah, and then also River Center, April 22nd to April 25th is Home Refresh Week. It's a lot of the home furnishing places in town will be participating. I know there's some type of basket up for, I guess, is it raffle? Which I might go in for myself with how expensive home furnishings are nowadays. So good stuff there. I also want to shout out maybe the newest business in town, Kenny's Meals, right over on 120 Monmouth. Really great owners. The food's really good. It's a competitor of, I guess, Eat Clean Bro, if anyone's familiar with that. Meal prep, it's no subscription, which is awesome, and nothing's over $10. So a couple things I've had so far have been out of the park, so check it out. And they really want to make an effort to connect with the community, which I always love to see from a new business moving into town. And finally, just happy to say that my circle of young families continues to grow as I participate in more things in town. Sebastian's in T-ball now, which is 3 years old, so not much going there, but it's good. It's great stuff, and he could swing. That's the one thing. Likes to dig in the dirt too. But yeah, it's awesome, and all I keep hearing from all the young parents is how great things are and how excited they are to have moved here. People are moving here from San Francisco that never heard about Red Bank, but want to try it out and are renting and want to buy. So it's, always speaks to the need for housing on all levels, and really excited to continue to push this to be the best town for everyone living here. It's good, great stuff.
3-year-old T-ball, it's ants on a crumb. That's all it is. That ball's hit and they just all run to it.
It's 3 to 6 too, so you got some kids ready to go to the MLB, and then
Yeah.
good stuff though. Yeah, do a great job.
Yes.
Sure. Well, thanks for that update with all the kids. I think that's amazing.
8:15 on Saturday.
Okay, there you go. And
Bring Capri Sun.
oh, I am required to bring Capri Sun. Okay, I got it. Right. Well, as you're meeting all these young families, Ben, I hope you are sharing with them that Red Bank is having a green fair on Wednesday, the 22nd, at the Red Bank Middle School from 5 to 6:30. We're doing things a little bit differently. We are using the borough's See My Legacy to showcase the people who will be tabling at the event. Of course, we have the middle school participating, and I felt kind of lucky because I know there's going to be a trash and show, and somebody I know who plays Storage Wars got a storage container for $10, and they had all these mannequins in there. So I was able to get that to Diana for her kids to use. So I'm kind of excited about that. So I would like to see a lot of the grown-ups, in addition to the kids, come check out what is happening at the Green Fair. The giveaways will be plants, and trying to get some Swedish dishcloths, and we're trying to get some other things coming down the line, but I know they're happening. Speaking of the Environmental Commission, they are in the process of applying for an ANJEC grant, which I think is $1,500. And the purpose of that is to replace the plantings at Riverside Gardens with native plants, as well as clean up all the weeds that are there and make it, nice and functional again. So that's actually the plan. We do hope that this time Red Bank actually gets the grant, which would be amazing. And let's see, I talked about See My Legacy, so that's great. Also, the Shade Tree Committee mailed out the letters to residents in the street on Drummond Avenue to participate in our tree canopy project. Purpose being ideally, the shade tree will donate a tree to a resident, rather a homeowner who has that property for the front lawn to create shade. And if they can't get it in the front lawn, then they'll try the backyard again, increasing the tree canopy and reducing the heat island effect that Red Bank, to help reduce the, what do you call it? Heat island effect. So I think that part's good. I also want to thank Jim and his communications team, which we never had before. They've been amazing at communicating events and things that are happening and coming up with innovative things like See My Legacy. It took a while to get the Environmental Commission on board, but then now, we're populating it and they're seeing the value in it. And I just think it's a great way to promote what's happening, the events and who the sponsors are. They get some free promotion. And so I anticipate that we'll get, it'll be a great event. So, and thank you, Jim, for all the good work that you could do with the finance and the budget, because I know that's hard work. I relinquished my spot to Ben so he could see how the cheese is made. And I thought that was critical, especially for a new council person. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
I guess my two the boards of ed, I haven't been to their meetings yet, and we haven't had our Parks and Rec meeting yet. But I would like to say that I've been amazed at the progress down at Marine Park. I think Laura just ran into Laura down there. So it's great to see progress down there. I am going to comment on the budget meeting that we had last week, and I was impressed how much of the council was there. It's a tough budget, and I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that our expenses are up. Thank you, by the way, Mayor and Deputy Mayor, for pointing me to that committee. I think I said at the meeting, but I want to say here, because there wasn't that much attendance at the budget meeting, that it's, it's not great news, but I think that it could have been worse. We are doing what is necessary. The expenses for our insurance are up like everybody else's. And I know our administration is working hard to mitigate that as best as possible with some success. One of the things that I hear from residents, of course, we all would like to pay less taxes, but we also don't want less police services. We also want communication improvements. These are things we heard about going door to door recently and in the past. We need to do the fundamental services of our town. We need to take care of our parks. Laying off police officers is unthinkable. I mean, if anything, I'd like to hire 6 more police officers. I mean, this is a very difficult town to be a police officer in. We have major thoroughfares going through it. We have a hospital. We have a downtown that's constantly having things, and we have our residents that constantly have needs and emergencies. And we'd heard some about it tonight. Things happen today. It's we're not like a 2-street community here. It's funny. Very often I hear, well, there's no speeding in I don't know, Little Silver or Oceanport, but comparing us to some place like Oceanport is just absurd. Red Bank, we're kind of the center of this part of Monmouth County, and we're a crossroads. So we have to deliver these services as best we can. And I think that given the difficult financial situation that the country faces, I think we handled it well. So thank you, Jim, and the whole administrative team for doing that. And I'm really glad that we're not just pandering to politics, that it's a non-political budget. It really is kind of doing what's necessary. I don't miss the times where, oh, it was a miracle. We don't have a tax increase this year. Well, we don't have a tax increase because they spent all the surplus money. Well, we need that surplus money for things that we don't anticipate and to stabilize the taxes. So going forward, we don't have, no tax increase next year. And then we have double the tax increase the year after that. That's not really, responsible fiscal management. And I think our chief financial officer, by the way, does a very nice job. He went into a lot of detail about those very things and managing our surplus. But we have projects in this town that we're all committed to. We need to maintain them. Anyway, so, it's like, and we're 25% of the taxes. I believe, Jim, that's about right. We're about 25% of the property taxes. I think we provide a lot for that 25%. Anyway, that is my commentary, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for your patience.
Thank you. Laura?
So I'll start with Mayor's Wellness. We have a event on May 12th out in Princeton because New Jersey Healthcare Quality Institute is having their Mayor Wellness for all the people throughout the state. And I guess we're allowed to say that we got an award this year for being a healthy town. So that was good. We're having a women's health talk. Patty White is going to talk on May 9th. Yeah, at 11:15 at the Senior Center. 6 steps for women to age well. It's going to tie into the talk that we had, which was on the Blue Zone, that some of people from the town came to at the Senior Center, talking about eating well and exercising and all those things. So important stuff. That's Mayor's Wellness. I think that's it for Mayor's Wellness. Oh, we're going to be at the environmental fair too. So they have a table set up there. Animal welfare, a big change. I've been announcing that we're going to have a rabies clinic on March 2nd, but because we couldn't get the veterinarian and the health department there on May 2nd, we switched it to May 9th, still at the firehouse up on Spring Street, the first station up there, and everyone is okay with us switching the date to there. So we had to do that today, kind of. And animal welfare will be at the Green Fair also. And lots of other stuff coming out. May 15th will be down at, forgot the name of what we're doing down at Broadwalk. The day it's opening, walk your dog on Broadwalk or something. Something like that, right, Ben? Yeah. Dog walk on Broadwalk. That's it. I knew it was catchy. And there'll be dogs there and chickens, lots of different things. So there'll be dogs to adopt, lots of things going on. Louis Legacy will be there with their dogs to adopt. They're so cute. So that's it for animal welfare. Library continues to do so many things. I was just looking at their calendar, like 1 week, they have like 4 events going on. Family story time. Somebody told me they went to this paint and sip where they had chocolate and they painted with their kids. What a great time they had. I just heard it from a parent. What a great thing. But check out their calendar. They have so many events at the library. Dance fitness. They have a talk on tech coming up. Just a lot of things going on there. 2 things that I just want to mention is that, because I heard Christina talk about grants for historical stuff. The Women's Club, you know that it's in the Reckless building on Broad Street. They got a grant. It's a beautiful building. You should really, and it's got historic pictures all over it. It's gorgeous. And they had asked me to write a letter in support of them because I do belong to that Women's Club. They're really a nice group of women. They did get 1 grant from the Monmouth County Historical Society. They are redoing a lot of it, the porches and the steps and a lot of that. Yep. And they just went to New Jersey, Preserve New Jersey, to apply for another grant, which I wrote in support of that too. So they're doing a lot of work on that building, and I'm really glad they're keeping it the way it is because it's really a nice place. And it's a venue you can rent out too. Like, people don't seem to know that, but we've used it a lot for different events at Monmouth University too. So it's a great venue. And I think that's it for me. Thanks. Oh, and thanks for all the work on the finance too. Thanks.
Thank you.
And everybody.
Give me a minute.
I just popped my dinner of 1 Starburst
Right.
in my mouth. It was a busy day. Happy birthday to my son Otto, who turned 12 today.
Yay.
Hosted a bunch of Red Bank kids at my house. It was wonderful. This Saturday, April 11th, there's an expungement clinic. It's a wonderful partnership, Soul Kitchen, Borough of Red Bank, Parker Health, Mayor's Wellness Campaign, New Jersey Reentry Corporation. You can find RSVP information for this through the Borough of Red Bank Instagram and Facebook, but walk-ins are welcome. Why attend an expungement clinic? I share this because oftentimes people don't know what an expungement clinic is. You can get free legal consultations about expungement eligibility, expungement filing, and resource information. So please, please go look at this. Go see why this helps residents. Go see why people deserve second chances. Go see why this helps people who are eligible. It's a wonderful service, and it's really unique that we offer it in our borough. Push cart or license application. Again, I just want to commend our communications in the borough. They did a beautiful job with explaining what the push cart license process is and what is eligible through this program and what isn't, with wonderful visuals online of what can and what cannot be used. The deadline to submit for a push cart license application is actually the 15th of April. There was a notice that went out that it was extended. So applicants submit by the 15th of April at 11 a.m. here at Borough Hall. But there's more information about that, again, through the borough social medias of Borough of Red Bank on Instagram and on Facebook. The Visual Arts Committee is hosting their first ever graffiti bash. This will be just an explosion of live art, just really large wood panels in Riverside Gardens Park with artists there doing art, as well as vendors and music. This is Saturday, April 25th from 12 to 5 p.m. with a rain date of April 26th. I want to thank John the Barber of Kings of the Craft, who's located on West Front Street, who is a really wonderful partner on this. He's really deep in the art scene, and he's bringing a ton of artists in for that day, as well as constructing these really large panels that will be in the park. So it's going to be a really unique experience, and I'm just extremely proud that it's Red Bank that's hosting it. And then lastly, the first ever Red Bank Arts Festival that's being spearheaded by River Center, as Councilman Euro stated, Saturday, June 27th, with a rain date of June 28th. And as the councilman stated, they are still looking for sponsorships, but they are still looking for any artists, any vendors, any people that are makers that live in Red Bank. Monmouth Street has plenty of room for everybody to be involved, and this is the moment of the invitation for people to be involved. So anybody who wants to be a part of that event can email info@redbankrivercenter.org. And that's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I just want to take a minute and highlight a couple of borough employees. Somebody texted me a message that someone had posted online that just said, "Hey, I called up the borough and reported a pothole, and within like 20 minutes, Jerry from the Public Works Department came out and filled it." And so kudos to Jerry. I was at the library last week returning a book for my wife, and I pulled up in front, and there was a mother with like 2 or 3 kids, and she couldn't figure out the meter, and I was helping her do the meter, and we realized the meter wasn't working. And I said, you can go in, I'm going to call real quick and give them a meter number so you don't get a ticket. So I called Bill Wilk over at the parking authority and gave him the meter number, and I went inside to get a book for my wife. And when I came out, Bill was already there changing the meter head. So really responsive employees, reflects well on all of us, and wanted to give him a shout out. That's all I got. Jim, what do you got?
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that feedback too. Just from our side, administrative side, the budget presentation that was held last Thursday, I just want to obviously give the commendations where they're due to the Finance Department, the Finance Committee, the ad hoc committee that's oversees that process as well, and all the tremendous work that the department heads did with several iterations of that going back to them and telling them to take closer looks at their budgets and be sure to tighten up where they can and justify their needs to me, particularly when new programming or new items were requested. So I do give them a lot of credit, given the landscape of the budget that we had to work in. Next week, next Thursday, I will be heading down to Atlantic City in the morning to present at the Transaction Conference, which is the focus for, I was asked to do this through our colleagues over there at Easy Ride. So myself and Jim Gilday, the administrator of Westfield, will be on a roundtable or a panel discussion discussing our electric vehicle strategy in Red Bank and the progress that we've made and the implementations that we have in the future. So happy to do that and represent Red Bank in that way. Last week, we had a meeting with the Monmouth County SPCA with myself and Paul Proetto, the chair of the Animal Welfare Committee, along with TJ Moss, representative of the Animal Welfare Committee. It was good to sit down with Commissioner LaCitra, who's also the director of the Monmouth County SPCA, along with some members of his staff to discuss a couple of concerns that we had, which was really good that we met because they were able to provide us with more in-depth reporting that we hadn't received. And so we were actually able to see the amount of times that they were in Red Bank on a monthly basis. And actually, it was much more than what we had thought. So we had asked for that reporting moving forward, which we will get, and the Animal Welfare Committee will review. So that was a good meeting. Definitely, I think, put us all back on a level playing field and reset expectations of both sides of the table there. So that was good. Just yesterday, I went out to Sunset Park with Monmouth Conservation Group and our representatives from VHB Engineers, who are doing the LSRP remediation study at Sunset Park, along with Shauna from Director of Community Development. And we had a very good meeting and walked a lot of that site, just to see where the test pits were, where they were gathering the information from, and kind of talk about the timeline process of how that's moving along. And just to, again, touch base with Monmouth Conservation, who's a great partner in that project. So it was a very good meeting to go through that as well. And lastly, I just want to remind everybody that all of our meetings, planning board, zoning board, council meetings, are broadcast on the YouTube channel, and obviously thank our community engagement team for making sure that all that happens, and Shauna and her office as well. And you can always access that through @Borough of Red Bank through YouTube and through our Facebook page as well. That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. And just reminding residents that Jim has completed the manager's annual report again for 2025. So if you want to get a detailed explanation for what's been happening and what progress we've made, it's all in the report. It's really, really
You can
well
even
written.
scan the QR code tonight if you wanted to.
What's that?
We put it on display just to scan
There
the
you
QR
go.
code tonight, but
There you go.
everything's
Feel free to grab
posted
it.
online
Or
electronically.
scan, right,
too.
see it online. I think that's all we got. Can I have a motion to adjourn to executive session?
So moved.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can we have 5 minutes, Mr.
Yep. Greg, you want to give your little spiel?
Yeah, so the Borough Council will now retire to executive session. We'll discuss personnel matters, specifically employment compensation. And the conversation will take approximately 15 minutes, and we will take no action following executive session. 15 minutes. 1-5. Didn't mean to scare you there, Mary. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you.